To be transparent, I am filming the intro for this vlog after I've already completed the 2 books because I kind of messed up the intro when I originally filmed it. So in this vlog, you will see all of my thoughts and feelings about these 2 books along the way. So I want to say welcome to the vlog, and let's kick it off to Past Hannah, who is just going to be starting book 1. Good morning. You knew the bathrobe was going to show up at some point in this vlog. You know who you clicked on. Give a really brief update. Managed to get 25% into A Song of Wraiths and Ruin by Roseanne A. Brown last night while I was doing my puzzle, and it was delightful. The puzzle and the reading experience. I really love our 2 main perspectives. We have Malik and Karina suffers from chronic migraines as well as a lot of essentially PTSD and trauma and grief, and she's really angry, and I just really appreciate an angry teen girl. I just do. And since I suffer from chronic illnesses, I just really appreciate seeing that in young adult novels. And also, Malik suffers from anxiety and panic attacks and depression, and he's been told his whole life to like bottle up his magic and not express it, and he's kind of letting it go for the first time in his life, and I think that's a really great metaphor for emotions and being a black man, a black boy, and being told to just bottle everything up. And he's finally like letting it all go and trying to be himself, and I just really appreciate this book, like even more so on the second read than the first one. But yeah, I'm really enjoying my time rereading this. I hope to finish this in the next day or so, and then I can go on to book 2.
Hiccup wants to tell you that we are 75% in to A Song of Wraiths and Ruin. We're really enjoying it. It does drag in the middle a little bit, but I remember the ending goes with a bang. It's like an incredible ending. And so when I first read the book, I remember like enjoying it but not loving it, and then the ending literally brought it from like a 3 or 4 star read up to a 5 star because the ending is so good. So I'm really enjoying it. I gotta bring this one to the vet. So I will probably finish it over the weekend. Hiccup, do you want to say hi to the vlog? No, he just wants to be in my lap.
Quick update. I know this is horrible lighting, so I'll try to be swift. I did manage to finish A Song of Wraiths and Ruins just now, and it was really good. I still quite enjoyed it, but I think I'm gonna give it a 4 stars overall. I just didn't vehemently love it as much the second time, which is fine, but it was still a really, really great book. So I am going to start the second book and lay in my bed. Also, my sibling got me this shirt. It says, well, you can't see it, but it's a little guy, and it says reads a lotl, and it's a little axolotl. I actually learned that axolotl is not how you pronounce it, and it's actually an indigenous word. It's asholot, something like that. Anyway, so the joke isn't quite as funny when you pronounce it in its language of origin, but it's still a cute shirt.
Oh, Tetra. Why? This is a brand new puzzle.
I managed to read 50% of A Psalm of Storms and Silence. On Sunday, I was doing a puzzle and just cranking away on this baby. And I have thoughts. This book is unfortunately falling into a trope that I find it's a pet peeve of mine, this trope. And it's not really a spoiler to talk about it. So at the end of book 1, the characters are separated. The two main characters, Malik and Karina, are separated, and so in book 2 they're kind of going off on their own separate plot lines and separate adventures, but they are like magically, psychically linked, so they can kind of like communicate with each other and feel each other's thoughts and emotions. And I'm 50% in, and they're still not in the same vicinity as each other. They're still, you know, communicating primarily with this like mind link thing. I hate that. Not just in this book, but in any book. Because if I'm supposed to believe that these two characters are romantically involved and there's chemistry and they want to be all cutesy and lovey-dovey and stuff like that, I need more than some type of mind link to convince me of the relationship. This happened in a different book I read last year. It was called Down Comes the Night, where the only chemistry the characters had with each other was this like, oh, we're just magically linked somehow. It feels lazy, and it feels like it's in place of real scenes of emotional intimacy and chemistry between the characters, because in book 1 it's like a whirlwind. It takes place over a week, so it's really just the initial attraction, they have a smooch, and then the book ends. It's like literally they just have that like instant chemistry, like instant attraction, and then book 2 you're supposed to be like convinced that they are actually in love with each other, and I'm just not getting that. So that's just a really big pet peeve of mine. I really don't like it. I'm not liking it in this book. I don't like it in any book. In general, I'm enjoying the plot of both the characters, like what the characters individually are doing. However, it's that psychic link that's just really throwing off my vibes.
All right, y'all. I feel like crap. So I did manage to shower. I put a kettle on for tea. And I'm just gonna do my nails tonight. You know, it's half coming off anyway. I'm just gonna listen to the book, do my nails, watch some TV, maybe play a little Stardew Valley. I don't know if I'm gonna check in though. Today just kind of took a lot out of me. Can you see? It's like a matte gray toned purple. And I haven't messed them up yet. Well, give it 5 minutes and I'll bump into something. This book committed a cardinal sin. Well, it's not a cardinal sin. It's not. It's just another trope that I do not like or find annoying. It's slightly spoilery to talk about, so mild spoiler warning, but one of the characters goes on a quest for a magical object to get some power to stop the big bad. Okay, very stereotypical. And then they get to the place where the thing is, and the response is You don't need the thing. You had it in you all along. So what? We just wasted 150 pages to go to a place to get a thing that never existed because they had the power inside them all along. Not my favorite trope. It's a nice sentiment, but it just feels like page time that we could have devoted to something else, or just kept the book shorter. You know what I mean? Hi. She senses my distress. Just want to update real quick that I'm now 90% into the book. I'm almost done. I've got about an hour worth of reading left, and I am enjoying it. I know my last couple of clips, I've been a little nitpicky, a little like explaining some of the pet peeves that I personally have that this book has, but I just wanted to come on here and say I am enjoying the book, and this last little chunk that I've read so far today has been really, really good, and there have been some really emotionally impactful lines that the author has had at the end where the characters, you know, because we're reaching the end of their character arcs, so some of their realizations that they're having are beautiful and heart-wrenching, and so I'm really appreciating that. I'm really loving that. Everything's coming to a head right now. So just wanted to come on here and be like, temper my language a little bit. I am quite enjoying this overall. It just, you know, not every book is gonna have everything in it that everyone likes. And also, I want to say I got dressed today. I am cooking myself dinner, and I went to the chiropractor today, so I am taking care of myself. And I'm really proud of that. I will show you. So I don't know if you can see this or hear, but this is a veggie curry. And it smells amazing. It's gonna be real spicy. But it's got carrots, green peppers, red peppers, onions, zucchini, mushrooms. Did I say carrots? More carrots and more carrots, and green beans. And it smells amazing, and I think it's done.
Hi everyone. I realized that in the clip I filmed that you're about to listen to, I was showing off a sweatshirt that has my high school on it, and that feels a little bit scary to reveal, like where I went to school, where I go to work, you know, all that stuff, like personal stuff. So I am filming this clip to say I am just going to be showing the audio from that clip to do a wrap up. I'm so sorry about that. You won't be able to see my face or, you know, what I'm wearing, but I just, for my own comfort, I do not want to share that information. So here is the audio of my review, my final thoughts on these two books. I did manage to finish A Psalm of Storms and Silence last night, and I just wanted to wrap up this duology today really quickly. Overall, A Psalm of Storms and Silence I did enjoy, but I didn't love. It just had a few plot tropes, a few plot devices that I just don't enjoy, and I much prefer the plot overall in A Song of Wraiths and Ruins. This has a magical competition, a romance where the two characters are supposed to hate each other, but they love each, you know, they end up falling in love, and it just had a little bit more of a plot things that I enjoy versus this, which was full of plot devices and tropes that just I don't enjoy. Also, this is a young adult series, so I'm an old lady. So I'm no longer the target audience for these books. So the fact that I don't love them is not inherently a diss on these books by any means. I think these are important. The mental health and the chronic illness representation in these books is incredible.
I wish I had this as a teen. The emotional journey these characters go on for a YA book, I think, is really great and complex for a young adult series. And the African folklore, mythology, and like inspiration for these books, I think, is desperately needed. So I think these are great books overall. I just didn't absolutely adore them. So I ended up giving A Song of Wraiths and Ruins 4 stars and A Psalm of Storms and Silence 3 stars. So still great, still had a good time with these, but not new favorites, not a new series that I'm going to be rereading over and over and over again, if that makes sense. I may even donate these to my local library or something, just to get these in the hands of ideally a Black teen who would, I think, appreciate and absolutely adore these way more than me. I don't need these in my collection if I don't love them, you know what I mean? But that is what I have to say on that.
So in conclusion, I just want to say thank you so much for watching this vlog for A Song of Wraiths and Ruins and A Psalm of Storms and Silence by Roseanne A. Brown. I really appreciate you sticking around, and I will see you in another video very soon. Bye!